Okay, so imagine this, a law that could reshape how justice is delivered in Ghana, but it's being pushed through Parliament without full participation. That's exactly what's happening with the Tribunals Bill 2026, and today we're unpacking why Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia is urging President Mahama to hit pause.
That's a big one. The Tribunals Bill has sparked a lot of debate, and it's not just about the law itself, but also the process behind it. Let's start with what this bill is actually about.
Sure. The Tribunals Bill, introduced by the Attorney General, aims to establish regional and district tribunals to handle specialized criminal cases like economic crimes and tax violations. The government says it's a way to ease the severe backlogs in the courts, which sounds practical on the surface.
It does, but the opposition, including Dr. Bawumia, has raised some serious concerns. They're questioning not just the content of the bill, but also how it was passed. The minority in Parliament boycotted the process, and yet the bill was pushed through anyway. That's a red flag for a lot of people.
Exactly. Bawumia's main argument is that altering the judicial system isn't something that should be decided by a simple majority in Parliament. He's calling for a national consensus involving a broad range of stakeholders like legal professionals, civil society groups, and even the judiciary itself.
That's a strong point. He even said, justice belongs to no government and no party. It belongs to the Ghanaian people. It's a powerful reminder that the justice system is supposed to serve everyone, not just the interests of those in power.
Right, and that's why he's asking President Mahama to withhold his assent to the bill. He's essentially saying, let's pause and have a real conversation about this. It's not just about opposing the bill, it's about ensuring that any changes to the judicial system have the trust and support of the people.
But here's the thing. The government has defended the bill, saying it includes modern safeguards to prevent abuses. For example, they've emphasized that qualified lawyers will preside over tribunal proceedings, which wasn't always the case in the past.
True, but that brings us to the historical baggage tied to public tribunals in Ghana. During the PNDC era, these tribunals were often associated with political oppression and a lack of fair trial rights. That's a big reason why critics are so wary of bringing them back, even with safeguards.
And that historical context is important. People remember how those tribunals were used as tools of political control. Even if the current bill has safeguards, the perception of tribunals as instruments of oppression is hard to shake.
Exactly, and perception matters just as much as the actual content of the bill. If people don't trust the system, it doesn't matter how well designed it is. That's why Bawumia's call for a national dialogue is so crucial. It's about building public confidence in the process.
So, what's the government's counter-argument here? They've said the bill is open to amendments if valid flaws are identified. Isn't that a sign they're willing to listen?
It is, but critics argue that the willingness to amend the bill doesn't address the core issue, which is the lack of broad consultation before it was passed. Bawumia's point is that you can't fix a flawed process by tweaking the outcome. The process itself needs to be inclusive from the start.
That's a fair critique, and it's not just about the opposition's concerns. Civil society groups and legal professionals have also called for more dialogue. This isn't just a partisan issue, it's a national one.
Exactly, and that's what makes this such a high-stakes debate. On one hand, you have the government arguing that the bill is a practical solution to a real problem, court backlogs. On the other hand, you have critics saying that the process undermines trust in the justice system.
And let's not forget the timing. With elections coming up, every move by a political figure like Bawumia is going to be scrutinized. Do you think his appeal to President Mahama is more about politics or genuine concern for the judicial system?
Honestly, it's probably a mix of both. As the flagbearer of the new Patriotic Party, Bawumia has a political incentive to oppose the government's agenda, but at the same time, his call for national dialogue seems sincere. He's not just saying no to the bill, he's offering a constructive alternative.
That's true. and his framing of the issue as a matter of national interest rather than partisan politics adds credibility to his argument. He's essentially saying, this isn't about me or my party, it's about what's best for Ghana.
Right, and that's a smart move politically. It positions him as a leader who prioritizes national unity over partisan divides, but it also raises the stakes for President Mahama. If he signs the bill into law without addressing these concerns, it could deepen divisions and erode trust in the government.
So where do we go from here? What's the balanced judgment on this issue?
I think it's clear that the government's intentions are practical. The idea of easing court backlogs and addressing specialized criminal cases is a legitimate goal, but the process has been far from ideal. Pushing the bill through Parliament without full participation undermines the spirit of democracy.
And the historical baggage of public tribunals can't be ignored. Even with modern safeguards, the perception of tribunals as tools of oppression is a significant hurdle. That's why Bawumia's call for national dialogue is so important. It's not just about fixing the bill, it's about rebuilding trust in the system.
Exactly. If the government truly believes in the merits of this bill, they should be willing to pause and engage with stakeholders. That's the only way to ensure that any changes to the judicial system have the trust and support of the people.
Well said. This isn't just about a piece of legislation. It's about the principles of governance and the importance of inclusivity in shaping policies that affect the entire nation.
Absolutely. Let's hope this sparks a broader conversation about how we approach major reforms in Ghana. Whether or not President Mahama heeds Bawumia's call, this debate has highlighted the need for greater transparency and dialogue in our political processes.
Couldn't agree more. Thanks for breaking this down with me.
Anytime. This is a conversation worth having, and I'm glad we could shed some light on it.